Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can model for design situation and idea generation. In the coursework in the journal, there will be a lot of opportunities which you can take photos of a situation, of a user in an environment using a product, of which you can use to identify a design need or a design opportunity. In idea generation too, you may be making a model, you have proposed a solution, and one of the best way to represent and to test how a solution works is to make a model. And then what do you usually do? You take a photo and then you evaluate with the photo on how effective the product is. So without further ado, let's talk about modeling for design situation and idea generation. I'll be talking about how you can model, who should be the model, who should be the photographer, and how should the scene be strategized so that it can most effectively show or illustrate your intention. Okay, without further ado, let's define what modeling means. You notice in my slide, modeling is spelled with a capital letter MOD and then ELING as small letters, small caps. So what this means is, it is just a fanciful way of writing, but I want to combine model as in the person actually in your photo using the product, and the model assuming a spatula. For example, you're designing and making a spatula or a holder for the spatula, doesn't really matter. So small letter M represents the model, the physical object that you make, but the big letter in caps model represents the person, the human being modeling for your product. So therefore we have modeling for design situations and idea generation. Okay, so now that we have defined who are the models, the big model and the small model, we will continue. Okay, so maybe it is interesting to take a look at these two little cartoons here. There are two ways you can model. There are two ways you can take a photo of a situation or for your modeling in idea generation. Someone can be holding it and smile in the camera for you, or your model could be doing something of which you can take a photo to show how things really work when the product is being made. So more about that in a little while. Okay, let's define what situation and idea generation is. Now, a situation is a context. An ideation photo opportunity is also occurring in a context. So what is in a context? The context consists of the user in the environment interacting with the solution or the item or objects that you have designed. So a situation is basically three of these attributes put together with an action taking place. Okay, so that is just about it. A situation is just a context showing the user, the environment, and the solution. So in this case, in this example, you have a lady frying something using a spatula and a wok. So here is a situation. The user in a kitchen using a frying pan and a spatula cooking. The action is cooking. And then here you have a very famous golfer with the Photoshop taking him in action. So he could be putting. So it is an action that is being taken. This shot is taken of his action. So here is the context. He is in a golf course, obviously. So the user is the gentleman, and then the golf club is the item or the object. Okay, let's talk about pose. When you have a model, you have a pose. When you have a photo for design situation, the person must be doing something. So in this video, I will talk about three things. How should the pose be? How should it be like? And who's the photographer? Who should be the model? Let's begin with how should the pose be. You look at these two pictures, these two students, if you wish. The one on the left is actually holding the spatula and a wok, actively cooking with things in the wok, and then the person on the right holding a spatula. Now, which is a better photo? Which actually does show the action? The one on the left or the one on the right? I will say the one on the left. So if you want to show a situation, someone actually doing something, it is really no point holding a spatula or holding the object and smiling into the camera, correct? Not you're not taking a photo shoot showing a spatula, and that is not taking a photo for an advertisement. You are trying to sort of show a situation, somebody actually working. So it makes more sense to have a photo that shows the user actually doing something. Okay, next, let's do a little bit of recap. Look at these three pictures, the three ladies here. One holding a spatula, the one in the middle holding a pot and pretending to be cooking. Obviously there's nothing there. And then the last one, this lady, we have seen it before. Okay, so which one? Can you do this? Yes, of course. If you want to, nothing is going to stop you. But the picture does not show how the spatula is being used, what is going on, except someone looking pretty with the same color shirt and a spatula, smiling very brightly. That is just about all. Okay, so if you are doing product research and you want to show the spatula, you may be able to do so taking a photo that looks like this. But why do you need a user? Right? So if you do that, if you want to, the second picture shows the user more or less in action, trying to fry something, but it is not as effective because look, there's nothing in the frying pan. You look at the photo and you know, obviously, of course, this is just a pose, a very fakey one. Okay, you want to do this, up to you. I give it a 2 tick. It is still better than the first one with no wok. The second one is slightly better, the spatula and the wok and smiling. And then what about the third one? The third one, I give you 3 ticks. Why? Because this third one looks the most authentic. The most authentic because someone is actually cooking, holding a wok, and they have food inside the wok. So if you want a photo for a situation and you want to show a design challenge or to identify a design need, taking one that the user is in action, in real life, doing the real thing, will be more authentic than taking a user holding the item and smiling to the camera. Isn't it so? Right? So look at these 2 little cartoons again. Which one do you think will be a better pose? This one on the left. Can you do the one on the right? Yes, but it will not be as effective. Okay, a little bit of recap. Now we have the same gentleman holding a golf club. Which will be a better pose? The one on the left, this one, or the one on the right, this one? 3, 2, 1. I will choose this. Once again, if you want to choose the one on the right, with the user posing with the club, nothing is going to stop you. But if you want to show a context, show an action, the one on the left will be so much better, similarly to this one which we have talked about earlier on. Now that we have understood how the pose should be like, now if you are the student doing a project and you have a model and you wish to take a photo of the model in action, now should you be the model or should you be the photographer? Very often, if you can recall some if you can recall some of the things that you do in class, very often, it's very common, it's really happening. The person doing the project usually ends up being the model while his friends will be taking the photo. Anything wrong with that? No, but it is very tough. What do you see usually happening? That the person who is the owner of the product usually have to give instructions to the photographer how you should take the photo, and most of the time the photos don't turn out well. Why is this so? 3 questions you have to ask so that you know who should be the photographer, who should be the model, who should be the director, and who should be the model. Number 1, whose project is it? Who is the owner of the project? You are the owner of the project. If you are the owner of the project, who will be the best person to give instruction? You will be the best person to give instruction because you know how it should be like, what the pose should be like, and you know the camera angles that you want to take. So who will know the pose best? Again, you will be the one who knows what pose is best. So who should be the director? The person holding the camera will be the director, and your friends shall be the model. And so what do? You get your friends to hold the product, your model, or if it's in a situation, get the products, get your friend ready, give them the instruction, tell them how to stand, tell them how to move, tell them what they should be doing before and after, and then you, the director, you take the shots and you call the shots. So the person taking the photo shall be the director, telling the model what to do. And the person who is the director is none other than you. Okay, so here is a recap. How do you pose? How do you take photos? You, the director, and your best friends, they shall be the models. Okay, that's all. I hope that will help you in your modeling. I hope that when you take a design situation and idea generation, you will consider if you want to take your friend smiling in the camera holding the item. So after today's session, I hope you will be able to take better photos that best represents the situation and your intention. Okay, thank you. That's about all. Bye bye.